Hey dudes. So, I was watching a Godless Engineer video where he's talking about a Joshua Feuerstein video, of course, because we love talking about Josh. He was talking about how he's responding to this video where Josh calls the women of Hollywood who went to the Golden Globes in their black dresses hypocrites because they act and look like prostitutes and porn stars because in movies they do sexual acts and they're paid for it just like prostitutes or porn stars. I do think Godless Engineer made some good points in his video. With Josh's comment about prostitutes and porn stars and sluts, like, made me think of how the Abrahamic religions have kind of ingrained into our general culture that prostitution is wrong and bad, and it's held us back from legalizing it. And just like marijuana, I think it's one of those victimless crimes, one of those prohibitions that should be ended, and that if it were to be legalized, it would be very beneficial for women and country as a whole. But it just reminds me of this Jim Jeffries joke I heard a few years ago at his show in New York, and I'm probably like gonna totally butcher it. He was talking about how prostitution was legalized in Australia and how there were like benefits to that there, and how it's so silly that America doesn't have it. But pornography is totally fine. So if you get a woman and you have her have sex with you and you pay her for it, that's totally illegal. But if you had a camera guy and you uploaded it to the internet, then that made it legal. I think religion, especially like Christianity and like Islam, encourage this idea that sex is only right within a romantic married relationship. And I think if it's not hurting anyone, if both parties have consented to it and everything's fine and safe, then nothing is wrong with prostitution or pornography. We need to get away from this attitude, this religious attitude of it, sex just for pleasure being an evil thing, because it's holding our country back from making more rights for women, like with the women's rights march kind of thing. It makes me wonder if any of these women care about more rights for making it a safe environment for women in the pornography industry. And instead of just continually demonizing porn and acting like it's a bad thing that women never want to take part in and that they're forced to, basically, kind of attitude. It's like, no, there's women that want to do it, but we should have laws and regulations for like safety guidelines for it. If we were to start to get rid of this attitude of sex for pleasure being completely wrong, then we could get more rights for women to have a safe workplace if they were to be prostitutes. Just like in Nevada and in Australia, we could have nationwide regulations on it, like health regulations with checks every so many weeks, and condom use and sanitizing the areas and whatnot. That's just what they do in places where it is legal. And it would keep women out of prison that are there for something that they weren't really hurting anyone, unless they were like intentionally spreading an STD or something. Then that's, but also like regulating it would keep STDs down. And it could also help with women being kidnapped and trafficked, that terrible, terrible thing that happens all over the world, even in the US. It's like, with it, similar argument to legalizing marijuana. If it's legal and you can just go get it in a store, then you're not going to go to the black market for it. Same thing with prostitution. Let's stop thinking of it as a wrong thing for a woman to choose to do sexual things for money. Let's stop shaming men for wanting to take part in that. Another point, just kind of off topic, I guess, was Godless Engineer was criticizing Josh Feuerstein for not speaking out about sexual abuse within the Christian community. And I totally agree with that. But with this whole Me Too movement and cracking down on sexual misconduct within things, like, I get it, Hollywood, fix yourself, but I wish people cared about fixing sexual misconduct in the Catholic Church and the Christian community as a whole, and other religious communities, because it's not just Christianity. I wish people paid more attention to that kind of thing, but I feel like people don't want to, because it's like, oh, religion, it's a sensitive topic, and oh, like, but religion is in general good, so let's just not act like there's this as much bad stuff as happens with it. Those are the few points I just thought I would add in from this video I just watched. And link to that down here. Watch Godless Engineer. He does. Probably a lot of you do, but thank you for watching, guys. And yeah, see you later. Bye, dudes.